Coming to you from the Hudson Media Group studio, this is Talking Politics, and I am the generational talent in Garden State media because my level of honesty, ladies and gentlemen, now more than ever, is truly necessary because I'm the hero you need right now in New Jersey journalism. That's right, it's me, Fernando Uribe. Hope you all had a wonderful Mother's Day weekend. I know I did, got to enjoy it with my mom and my aunt, and of course, all the important moms in my life, of course. And listen, shout out to all the moms once again. Again, mothers, adult biological females, okay? Women, those that have a uterus, a vagina, ovaries, okay? Not grown men pretending to be mothers or women. No, that day's on April 1st for those people. But for everyone else, this past weekend, we got to enjoy Mother's Day, and I hope you all did. Again, as we continue with the month of May, there's a lot to discuss, so let's get started. Here's what I'm thinking about right now. Now, folks, again, all the doom and gloomers I know were having a party in their pants just a few weeks ago about the state of our economy, shortly after President Trump celebrated 100 days in office into his second term. But sure enough, as I've talked about not just on this program, but my other show, Real Talk with Fernando Uribe, which, by the way, you can check out every Monday night on Jersey First TV. Yes, folks, we're seeing a lot of economic progress. And let me just break this down for everybody here, because again, maybe you're not informed or maybe you're not looking in the right places, but that's what I'm here for, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here to provide you information, and I'll do the work so you don't have to. So, of course, we've seen inflation at its lowest since 2021. In addition, the cost of gas has gone down for the third consecutive month. Again, we're producing more crude oil domestically, therefore the cost of gas has indeed decreased. Now, you wouldn't know that in New Jersey again because, folks, due to the gas tax, we're paying more than 45 cents per gallon on even regular gas. We'll see if that gets, rescinded in the next term. You never know. Let's hold on to hope here. For example, the cost of eggs that I know many on the left were decrying and worrying about the cost of eggs. Yes, folks, the cost of eggs has dropped more than 12% in the last 30 days. We've also seen trade deals beginning to take shape. And for example, just to give you a perspective here, the United States has lowered tariffs on most Chinese imports from 145% to 30%, making a significant de-escalation in the ongoing trade tensions between the United States and China. And subsequently, China decided to cut tariffs on U.S. products. And in response, China reduced its tariffs on U.S. goods from 125% to 10%, thus facilitating a more balanced trade environment between the two nations. Of course, both countries agreed to a 90-day moratorium on implementing new tariffs, thus providing a window to negotiate a more comprehensive trade agreement. And subsequently, we've seen also a positive market reaction. The announcement subsequently led to a surge in global markets with, of course, major increases in the S&P 500 and in the Dow Jones experiencing significant gains, which reflects investor opportunities. Folks, it's not just also that, but we got to see the President of the United States negotiate a ceasefire agreement between the countries of India and Pakistan, who have been at war for God knows how long. And of course, when you can help negotiate a peace agreement between two nuclear powers, that's always a good day. And of course, yet another American hostage was freed from Gaza. And last but not least, we are seeing ICE do their job in our American cities, right? As we're seeing more and more criminals and illegals getting rounded up, whether it's rapists, murderers, terrorists, you name it, folks, whether it's down in Houston, Texas, or in New Jersey, or down in Florida, or over in Indiana or Ohio. Folks, this is exactly what I voted for. And this is exactly why we, the American people, hired Donald Trump for a second term. But don't tell that to all the woke fools and the social justice clowns, because again, they're more concerned again about pronouns and identitarian politics. And for many of the American left, they just want to die on this hill about revering and standing up for some of the most vile people in American society. Take your pick, folks, whether it's the establishment media on CNN or MSNBC, or here in New Jersey, with the establishment media such as Insider NJ, NJ Spotlight News, NJ.com, NorthJersey.com, Politico New Jersey. Folks, take your pick. There's no shortage of, propagandists who masquerade as journalists. Let's be very honest about it. But again, these are the battles that they're looking to die on, right? But not a peep, and they're asleep at the wheel when it comes to all of this progress that I just outlined right now by the Trump administration. But of course, if you talk to the American left, oh, they're concerned about habeas corpus. And they're concerned about, oh my God, the rights of rapists and terrorists and child molesters and pedophiles and criminal illegals that we know are running rampant still in many American cities. Now, shout out to Tom Homan, the border czar, who actually is doing some actual work, unlike the previous border czar, former Vice President Kamala Harris, who I'm sure is enjoying her third bottle of vodka as I film this episode. But folks, I have to tell you, it's refreshing to see strength once again embodying the office of the presidency. Not a guy that is stumbling down the stairs, a guy that had to be led across stages, a guy that foreign powers were just not respecting. Just this week, we saw President Trump visit Saudi Arabia. Now, irrespective of what we think about the country of Saudi Arabia and how aggressive it is when it comes to how it treats women, how it treats members of the LGBT community there, regardless, you saw the reception that Donald Trump got in Saudi Arabia. You're seeing the reception that Donald Trump gets when he's visiting other countries. They take us seriously again. They didn't take Joe Biden seriously. And by all reports now, we're seeing these mysterious books now all of a sudden surface to where people are now openly admitting that Joe Biden was cognitively declining going back to 2022. But yet, many federal Democrats, even some state Democrats, and the establishment media were telling you that Joe Biden was as sharp as a knife, that Joe Biden was offering to do the calculus homework of the kids of all the journalists that would sit in the press room during the daily press briefings. Folks, that's why not just New Jersey residents, but Americans nationwide don't trust the establishment media. They've been lying to you for many, many years. And there's a reason why independent media, like yours truly, continues to thrive. I've been thriving here with Hudson Media Group for over 6 years now. I'll be approaching 5 years with Jersey First TV. And why am I succeeding? Folks, it's not just a pretty face and handsome looks. No, you can get that in a lot of places. But it's not just about looking at this pretty face, but it's what comes out of my mouth and what it has that perhaps has any substance. We know it does. I'm not going to lie to you. Unlike other journalists in New Jersey, I say this all the time, whether it's Tom Moran, Charles Stile, David Cruz, Max Pizarro, Alan Steinberg, Bob Hennelly, Matt Friedman, Jay Lassiter, John Van Vliet, Alan Levin. Folks, I can name so many others, but you get the point, right? The reason that establishment media isn't doing well, the reason that circulation is down, the reason that their views and clicks are down is because people don't trust them. You want to know why my traffic is strong? And by the way, all organically, folks, because again, I don't believe in boosting anything. I'm unvaccinated. So believe me, the last person that wants to ever boost anything is Fernando Uribe. But I'll tell you why my traffic is organic. It's because people trust me. People trust me to tell them the truth, even when it's not easy to hear. And for many on the left right now, it's not easy to hear about all this winning. We are seeing economic progress. But sure, people want to keep dwelling on morality and other things. And I get it, folks. Listen, I would never claim to say out loud that the 45th and 47th president is the most moral person. We all know he isn't. And that's okay. He'll be the first one to say it too. But we're getting what we voted for. We're getting a better economy now. We're getting gas prices down. We're getting law and order being practiced in our cities. Don't think that's important? Would you rather campaign and rally for criminals and illegals? Sure, have at it. We saw that last weekend in Newark when Ross Baraka, the mayor of New Jersey's largest city, decided to grandstand a little bit. And sure, his publicity stunt got eyes on him. Sure, it got some donations to his flailing campaign. Sure, it got him, a primetime slot in an interview on CNN with all 12 people watching Caitlin Collins on Friday night. All 9 people watching Chris Hayes on MSNBC Friday night. Sure. But this is where it's alarming. because you have sitting members of the House of Representatives like Monica McIver blatantly assaulting federal officers. Folks, don't take my word for it. The body cam footage is there. And I'm hoping that Alina Habba, the interim U.S. attorney for New Jersey, makes some arrests soon. Never mind the CCTV footage on the premises of Delaney Hall, but you saw the body cam footage. You saw Monica McIver physically assaulting federal officers. And for a party that all they did was bitch and moan for 4 years about January 6th and January 6th, again, I'm not trying to draw more equivalency here, but if you're going to be outraged, be consistent about it. Listen, I'm not happy with Rob Menendez. We're friends, and I'm not really happy he was there. I'm not happy with his behavior. I'm more disappointed in Monica McIver. This is a sitting member of the House of Representatives who should be sanctioned by Speaker Mike Johnson. I don't know what he's waiting for. The action is there. The footage is available. But what's even more egregious, folks, is the fact that people think that a city mayor bringing citations to a facility to illustrate that, hey, they're not up to building code, or they're, again, issuing summonses. When do you see the mayor of a city go deliver these things? Folks, that's called grandstanding. That's a publicity stunt. And sure, kudos to Ross Baraka for thinking of that. I wouldn't have thought of that. But then again, I don't believe in grandstanding or publicity stunts. Many on the left do. And we saw that. Now we'll see what happens to Ross Baraka when he has his day in court. And we'll see what happens to Monica McIver, which hopefully she should be sitting in a jail cell at some point this week. But again, folks, it's how the American left picks and chooses their battles. And it's interesting what hills they want to die on. Instead of celebrating this economic progress, not a peep, again, from the national establishment media or the state establishment media here in New Jersey. They'd rather, again, complain about pronouns. They'd rather complain about, oh my God, look what the Trump administration is doing to infringe upon the rights of mentally ill people. You know, grown men playing make-believe and dress up. Because no amount of hormone therapy, no amount of surgeries is going to remove the fact that if you're born with a penis, okay, and certain chromosomes, yeah, you're still a male. Sorry. And no amount of chopping off your hair or chopping off your breasts, right, and looking like a tomboy is going to make me believe that a woman is suddenly a man. Sorry. You have your chromosomes too, ladies. But again, these are the hills that the American left wants to die on. And more importantly, instead of celebrating economic progress, yeah, you don't hear a peep from the American left. It's pretty interesting, again, how they pick and choose their battles. I'll tell you which battles I'm picking, and that's economic progress. And that's what we're seeing right now, folks, during the second Trump administration. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like the guy. But it's hard to dislike the results. And if you're calling balls and strikes, again, fairly, you know that I'm right. But then again, why aren't I? And that's what I'm thinking about right now. And now some local stories for your consideration. And folks, I got to say that this is a story that just, I don't know, raises more alarms than anything else. But shout out to Al Sullivan, featured columnist at Tap Into Jersey City, for his reporting on this story. Now, style over size, an inclusive, body diverse marketplace and community celebration is focused on plus size and gender inclusive fashion. And these creators and shoppers will be coming into Jersey City this coming weekend. Now, the event will be held from 1 p.m. until 4 p.m. at Bergen Hall, which is located at 295 Johnston Avenue, coming up on Saturday, May the 17th. Now, it will be hosted by local creators Gianna Bove and Megan Ixom, as the market offers gender-inclusive pieces in XS to 6X, Jesus Christ, and a lineup of 10-plus creators and 10-plus vendors who reflect the diversity of the tri-state area. Style over size is aiming to be more than just a market, as it hopes to respond to the erasure of plus-size models from the fashion and media landscape. Yes, because who wants to look at fat women modeling lingerie or any other clothes? Can someone explain this to me? How this is even remotely attractive? What, maybe to Stevie Wonder? But with anyone with eyes, I don't see how it is. Now, Bove and Ixom are seeking to highlight that despite the fact that 67% of American women wear a size 14 or higher, well, again, more on that later, because we should be more concerned about obesity, not whether or not women have clothes like this. The fashion industry continues to shrink its offering. Well, of course, because they don't want to encourage this, but more on that later. with many major clothing brands discontinuing their plus-size lines and removing extended sizing from retail locations and online inventories altogether. Bove and Nixon believe that the message is clear. Fat people are being pushed out, not just out of fashion, but of visibility and cultural inclusion. What exactly are we supposed to believe in when it comes to inclusion? Why are we glorifying obesity? Ladies, here's interesting. According to Bove, quote, I was tired of going to every trendy local market and finding absolutely nothing that fits my body. I knew I wasn't alone. The average woman wears a size 16 to 18. Well, that's pretty embarrassing, but more on that later too. Yet most brands and pop-ups ignore the majority of us. So we're doing something about it by creating an inclusive space for people to not only shop off the rack, but connect and also celebrate us as we are both fun as well. Admission is free, with donations being accepted for Bottomless Closet NYC. Okay, I'm going to be as kind as I can to Gianna Bove and Megan Ixom. What is wrong with you? Why do you feel the need to subjugate us to your delusions? Again, folks, we are the most obese country in the world. We're the least healthiest nation on the planet. But somehow, Gianna Bove and Megan Ixom, instead of saying, hey, maybe we should get healthier, maybe we should hit a gym, maybe we should power walk more, maybe we shouldn't have that third serving of ice cream, maybe we shouldn't go out for Taco Tuesdays, and maybe, I don't know, have a protein shake. But again, instead of focusing on the problem at hand, it's about making excuses. Again, folks, this is where all this woke bullshit continues to harm our society. I'm sorry that fat women don't feel accepted. I'm sorry that fat women feel that there's a decrease in inclusion. But newsflash, why should we have to accept your delusions? You should want to be healthy. Folks, this coming Saturday, I turn 50. I know, it's hard to believe. With my pretty face and handsome looks, and, thank the Lord, I've inherited good genes from my mother. But you know what I've learned as I'm approaching half a century? That working out is important. That walking every day is important. Whether it's going to jiu-jitsu like I do, and by the way, shout out to Team 48 Jiu-Jitsu, which, by the way, you can check out by going to their website, HudsonCountyBJJ.com, for private lessons or team classes at a very affordable rate. So learning jiu-jitsu has done wonders for me. Learning Muay Thai has done wonders for me. It's increased my cardio. It's given me just a better overall healthy outlook. And why shouldn't we want to be healthy? So again, to Gianna and Megan, I get it. You feel kind of left out when you go to, festivals and you can't find clothes that fit you. Well, maybe that should be a wake-up call, ladies, that you need to get healthier. So instead of saying, well, people should just accept that we're plus size. No, we shouldn't have to accept shit. You think we should because you live in this delusional bubble. You should want to be healthier. So yes, if you remember a few years ago, Victoria's Secret was like, well, we should start, including lingerie for plus size women. No, they learned their lesson. There isn't a market for that. No one's buying it. And I get that, they want to use these numbers that, an overwhelming percent of women in the United States are sizes 14 to 18. Well, that's alarming too. Those aren't exactly women I think we should be glorifying. So for this plus size festival this weekend coming up in Jersey City, I get it. You want to be inclusive, but folks, you should want to be healthy. And that's the problem here. You should want to push health. You should want to push healthier lifestyles. But that's not what people like Megan and Gianna want to do. They would just say, oh, it's okay. We're plus size. You just need to accept us. No questions asked. No, ladies, it's not about no questions asked. You should want to be healthier, as we all should be. It's alarming that we're still the most obese country in the world. And there's a lot of reasons for that. Obviously, the way we have our foods processed, the way our diet is practiced, okay, what we feed our children. I get all that. This is a multi-layered problem. And I just can't wave a magic wand and fix it. You're right. The last thing we should be doing is glorifying obesity. So shame on Megan and Gianna, excuse me. You shouldn't be glorifying any of this. You should want to get healthy. And you should be telling other women too. Biological women, not who you want to think are women. We should all want to be healthy, folks. Take that into consideration. Now let's move into Jersey City, and a special thank you to the editor-in-chief of the Jersey City Times, Aaron Morrill, and one of his great reporters, Alexis McDonald, for her reporting on this very interesting story, as Jersey City is now ranked #1 in the nation for sober living. I know, folks, take that in. I had to do a double take when I read the article, too. Now, a recent study from Addiction Treatment Center, the Sana Lake Recovery, has named Jersey City the best city in the United States for sober living. Now, the study analyzed 50 U.S. cities based on several key factors: the number of rehab facilities per 10,000 residents within a 10-mile radius, the number of Alcoholics Anonymous AA locations, a Google search volume for, quote, sober living near me, each city's overall livability score, and the percentage of adults who binge drink in the state. Now, according to the report, Jersey City ranked highest due to a combination of strong recovery infrastructure and a high quality of life. Now, the city has 6 Alcohol Anonymous locations, 433 rehab facilities nearby, equally nearing 15 per 10,000 residents, and a livability score of 82 out of 100. Now, in New Jersey, 17% of adults do report binge drinking, which is lower than many other states on that list. I don't know who they're polling because, wow, I can tell you, as someone who still frequents nightlife in my bachelor days, whether it's Hoboken, Jersey City, I don't know, Union City, Weehawken, or even going into parts of southern Bergen County or western Bergen County, not sure about that percentage being that low, but nevertheless. Quote, as a medical professional, I've seen firsthand how critical it is for those in recovery to have the support that they need to succeed, as without it, the chances of relapse can indeed increase. This is according to Dr. Rolando Larice, a medical doctor at the Sana Lake Recovery Center. He also wanted to say, quote, Jersey City being ranked #1 reflects the city's dedication to ensuring individuals have easy access to the resources they need while in recovery. Now, Yonkers, New York, and Garden Grove, California followed second and third, respectively, in the list, while Newark, New Jersey also made the list, ranking at #12. The study reflects also a growing interest in sobriety across the country. According to a 2023 Gallup survey, 38% of Americans now abstain from alcohol altogether. Another recent report from the NC Solutions found that nearly half of U.S. adults are trying to drink less this year. Interesting, shout out to Alexis McDonald, who happens to be a freelance writer and a marketing professional based out of Jersey City. She graduated from Syracuse University with a degree in journalism and is passionate about exploring a wide range of topics obviously on behalf of the Jersey City Times, which includes education, to environmentalism, to politics, and to fashion. So, you know what? Shout out to Alexis McDonald. Great reporting there with the Jersey City Times. Folks, I didn't know what to make of this story. I thought it was very interesting. Again, as someone who's still a bachelor and frequents nightlife weekly, and in fairness, though, I would say that I have pursued a desire to drink less. And I think so along the lines of what the study is determining, yes, I think that more and more adults are drinking less, especially here in New Jersey. I think due to the fact that cannabis was legalized in 2020, I think more adults are looking to recreational cannabis as an alternative to what they're doing on their weekends instead of going out to drink. I know many of my friends that don't even really drink anymore and decide to pursue recreational marijuana as something to do to pass the time. Again, not here to pass judgment, but I think we all know that science will tell us that marijuana is infinitely less harmful than alcohol and nicotine, clearly. So if all you're doing is smoking marijuana and you're doing it in a responsible manner, folks, you're living a much healthier lifestyle than many of those that binge drink on a weekend. As we all know, the harmful effects of alcohol, and of course, for anyone who smokes regularly, we all know the harmful effects, if not the deadly effects, of nicotine altogether. So a very interesting study, to say the least, there by this recovery center. Now, we'll see where they rank, obviously. I mean, also seeing Newark as #12 on the list was very interesting. I mean, obviously, we are seeing parts of Newark that are thriving with nightlife, especially in downtown Newark and even in the Ironbound section. I can tell you, as someone who loves professional hockey and loves going to Prudential Center to see my New Jersey Devils, I love going to Ironbound for a nice dinner before I go see a hockey game, or whether it's go see WWE or AEW when it visits the Prudential Center. So yes, I like a good meal and a good glass of wine or 2 or 3. That's not for everybody. certainly people are looking to drink less. And that's a good thing, folks. Again, if we're trying to be healthy, that's always a healthy alternative altogether. So we'll see where Jersey City ranks next year and for the years to come, but certainly a very nice distinction for Hudson County's largest city. Sticking with the Jersey City Times, and once again, a special thank you to their editor-in-chief, Aaron Morrill, and certainly as well Alexis McDonald and Annie Maloney for their reporting on this very interesting story, where U.S. Representative Ro Khanna has endorsed Musab Ali in the upcoming mayoral race in Jersey City. Now, U.S. Representative Ro Khanna of California has endorsed former Board of Education President Musab Ali in the race for mayor for Jersey City, citing what he says are, quote, Ali's progressive values and track record of local leadership. He represents exactly the kind of next-generation leadership that we need, young, progressive, and deeply rooted in the community. Musab has already given more to Jersey City than most do in a lifetime, and he has my full support. Now, Ali, in return, said, quote, I'm honored to have the support of Representative Khanna. He's one of the few voices in Congress willing to stand up to powerful interests and fight for working people. Like him, I believe government should serve the public, not the political machine, or the contractors who write the biggest checks. As we all know, Ali is one of the 5 people vying for the top office in Jersey City later on this November the 4th, succeeding Mayor Stephen Fulop, who is now campaigning for governor. Now, the other 4 candidates include former Governor Jim McGreevey, Hudson County Commissioner Bill O'Day, City Council President Joyce Waterman, and Ward E Councilman James Solomon. Yeah, folks, that's a great accomplishment to have, a U.S. representative like Ro Khanna, who, again, who's a progressive hero and someone who many in the American left revere. Now, I don't know if that's going to really move the needle when it comes to votes in Jersey City, but I get it, folks. Listen, you want to be a progressive in Jersey City, there's an audience for that. But folks, at the end of the day, and as I've talked to recent candidates, which include current councilman at large Danny Rivera, I've interviewed Bill O'Day, also Jim McGreevey, as well as others and other council candidates. Folks, it's not about all the woke bullshit and all the social justice nonsense. At the end of the day in Jersey City, it's about getting your garbage picked up. It's about whether or not seniors have more services. It's whether or not maybe a recreation program can finally be developed in Jersey City. It's about what we can do to sort of fight back against developers, making sure they don't gobble up every piece of land in Jersey City. Whether or not there's more parking available, or whether or not we can hire more cops and make sure that we're emphasizing public safety, or that we're trying to make sure that, hey, at the end of the day, that Jersey City can be the most diverse city it possibly can. Folks, these are all important issues, everyday issues, that mean potato issues that matter. Not all the woke bullshit that maybe Ro Khanna and maybe some that Musab Ali subscribes to. We'll see what happens in the coming weeks and months ahead, folks. But again, nice endorsement from Musab Ali. Whether or not it makes a difference on November the 4th, that remains to be seen. And that's our show for this week. Once again, folks, to check out all the excellent programming brought to you by the leader in independent media right here in Hudson County, the Hudson Media Group, make sure you follow them on YouTube. It takes 2 seconds. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to their channel. You'll be automatically notified of all the great content brought to you by the Hudson Media Group, which includes Talking Politics with Fernando Uribe, Hudson County View Live every Wednesday with John Hines, Stick at Night with Hudson County Commissioner Anthony Romano, of course, Greta Hernandez and all the great hardworking men and women in the township of North Bergen, and much more. Folks, again, we're talking about the issues that matter most to you every single week here on the Hudson Media Group. And we remember, ladies and gentlemen, if it's unbiased, unfiltered, and unafraid, it's always Talking Politics here with the Hudson Media Group. I am the generational talent in Garden State Media because my level of honesty, folks, now more than ever, is truly necessary. And I'm the hero you need right now in New Jersey journalism. That's right, it's me, Fernando Uribe. Please party responsibly, folks. Enjoy the rest of your week. And we'll see you next time here, once again, in the leader for independent media in Hudson County. Folks, you can always rely on the Hudson Media Group. Always remember, stay classy, everyone.